Hi, it's me, Jamie. I would love to talk to you today about a really interesting theme that girls with social anxiety struggle with. And it's this protection mechanism, I'll call it, and girls who struggle with social shyness and anxiety. It's like they wear a suit of armor. And this armor is meant to protect them from all the big, bad, scary things that go on in the world. So how do you know if your girl struggles and wears this armor on a daily basis? Well, you might hear her say things like, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, or everybody at my school is stupid. And what they do there is they write people off. So, say she's in high school, she might believe that every single person that goes to her high school is stupid, or she can't relate to them because they like drama, or whatever excuse you hear. What this is like a suit of armor or a protection mechanism, because if everybody sucks at your school, then you're not forced to interact with them. You can just say, no, everybody hates me, or I hate everybody, or they're all dumb. But what I want to point out today is that is just a protection mechanism. Because on the flip side, if your daughter was to admit that there were some cool potential friends or a group of people that she would love to connect with that just seem to ignore her, then she's admitting hurt and admitting vulnerability. So it's so much easier just to say everybody sucks, like they're just not my people. So if you hear language like this coming from your daughter, now you know that it really is just her trying to protect herself from potentially getting rejected, judged, or hurt by potential friends. So it's really important to help your daughter see that that protection mechanism actually comes at a really high cost. And the cost of wearing that suit of armor is no connection. And if you don't have connection, you're missing out on maybe the most important human, I don't even know the word for it. It's just wonderful to feel deeply seen and heard and connected to peers. So by saying that everybody sucks or nobody likes her, she's literally like putting up a wall between her and her potential friends. Yeah, that's sad. It makes me sad, and I see it all the time. I like to affectionately refer to girls who struggle with anxiety as wearing gray colored goggles. The saying about rose colored glasses, where people walk through the world and they see only the good and they're very optimistic, whereas girls who struggle with anxiety tend to be pessimistic. And these gray colored goggles make the world look like a dull, kind of scary place. It's not bright, it's not fun, it's sad, and it's depressing. And another thing about these gray colored goggles is if your daughter has a belief that all the people at her school are terrible, then she's going to go looking for proof of why that's true. And she's going to gather up proof, like maybe nobody talked to her at lunch, or people don't say hi to her in class, or whatever else the proof is that nobody likes her or she hates everyone. And that's how she's going to stay. Whereas if we can get her to have a rosier pair of goggles, she might start looking for proof as to why people are potentially cool, and what it might be like to make friends with that person in her math class. And then she might see like, oh, well, maybe I am putting off a vibe. Maybe my armor is showing disinterest, or makes my peers feel like I'm stuck up or just don't want to talk to them. So she'll start to see like how this nobody likes me, I hate everybody shield puts off a vibe at school that turns other kids away. So then she can start working on that and not showing up with that suit of armor every day. Other ways that girls use that suit of armor, they might not tell you that they don't want to be friends with anybody in their school, but they might walk through the school giving really specific signs to everybody else to leave them alone. And that could be like looking at the floor as they walk through the hall, or like having hair down and covering your face and not making eye contact when you're in class, or staring at your phone at lunch instead of trying to interact with people, giving off the I'm busy vibe. There's so many ways that girls give off the do not mess with me vibe that really hurts their chances of making connections at school. So today's talk, short, talk fast, but the idea is that if you leave this alone, like if you don't help your daughter find a way to take off that armor and be brave enough to show up and be vulnerable and be seen and be heard by her peers, fast forward 5 years, she's definitely going to put off that same vibe in college. And then how might that affect her in her future? If she's afraid to be like truly seen and heard by people, how might that affect her potential marriage or friendships for the rest of her life? So learning the skill now to drop the armor and just allow yourself to be seen is a really important life skill. And it's one that girls with social anxiety or shyness need to be taught. It doesn't just happen. So if any of this sounds like your girl, then I recommend talking to her about how she might start practicing taking off that armor or leaving it at home and going to school without it. And as usual, I would love to help her with that. One thing I don't think I've been very clear about that I wanted to be is that I run courses for girls that help them deal with all of these things. Social anxiety is absolutely the biggest hurdle that teenage girls face nowadays, and it's one of the only things I do in my private practice. So I have an 8-week course that helps high school girls overcome all of these challenges and more in just a short period of time. So the reason I ask you to get on the phone is that I can't tell you through video if your daughter would be a good fit. But if I feel 100% confident that I can help her, I will tell you that on the phone, and you'll be able to see what that course looks like. It's transformational. I could give you story after story of girls who were struggling so hard, and then just 8 weeks later felt like a better version of themselves. That life is possible for your daughter, no matter how old she is, whether she's a freshman, whether she's graduating this year, whether she's even heading off to college and in a different stage of life. I can help her, and I can help her quick. So I really appreciate you taking time to watch this on the replay. It doesn't look like we got any joiners live. I need to get better at telling you when I am going to be doing these topics. And I think I might jump on tomorrow and talk about a great idea I had about doing some mini series on topics that you're really interested in. I would love to see a bit more engagement in this group. So tell me what it is you want to talk about. I'm all ears. I've got all these ideas of really important topics that I would love to cover with you, but I want to know that you're watching. If it's stuff that I'm talking about doesn't relate to you or your daughter, then tell me, because there's so many other things we can cover. I want this to be valuable use of your time. Okay, take care and happy Friday, is it? Have a beautiful weekend. Bye.